Pixelverse hosted its first festival here in Africa, here in Lagos, Nigeria, and it was massive. Let's talk about it. Now, in this video, we're going to start off by talking about the good, the not so good, and the bad. Yeah, we have to talk about the bad. And if you're not mining Pixelverse, then click the link in the description to start mining right away. All right, so let's talk about destination and ambience. Now, the Pixel Fest was hosted in Lagos, Nigeria at the Landmark Center, Victoria Island. Location-wise, if you're living on an island in Lagos, then it's easier for you to commute there. But this is a festival that is one of a kind and the first of its kind here in Lagos, Nigeria. And so we had a lot of visitors come out of outside the states, which means from other parts of Nigeria, they had to fly down or travel down in some way to get to this event. So yeah, a lot of people came with expectations. Now, the ambience as we know it, as you can see, is amazing. It was, yeah, giving the gaming vibe. And I was like, okay, good gaming vibe, but festival as we know it, not so much. But gaming, amazing. Well, the owner of Crypto TV Plus came on stage to say that this event was prepped and planned within a 2 weeks notice, which for 2 weeks, they did pretty well. No, we got to give to them. Within that time frame, they did pretty well. But like I said, 2 weeks notice, a lot of good things came out, but a lot of bad things are bound to happen. Now, well, talking about expectations, we had a lot of people come in and a lot of amazing entrances. I was beginning to wonder, like, okay, I didn't know entrance were part of things like this, but yeah, it's Africa. We always do things the Nigerian or the African way. So we had amazing entrances from the likes of Vindicated Chidi, the likes of Tola Fadugbagbe, the likes of Majid Crypto Knights, and so many others. The main person, or will I say like the main headliner of the show, was Tola Fadugbagbe. And when he came in, it was more like the Emperor, the Conqueror is here. Literally. Yeah. So it was an amazing entrance. It was grand. And he came on stage to talk about Pixelverse education. Literally explaining Pixelverse in its entirety. Basically, it's a gaming platform, how you play the game, what you stand to gain, and the most likely probable future of the Pixelverse. It talked about how huge it was. And obviously, if you know Tola Fadugbagbe, which is commonly known as Connected with Tola on Twitter, then you know that giveaways had to be done. Yeah, so a lot of giveaways were done and given at intervals on the programs. The whole idea of Pixelverse as a gaming platform or as a cryptocurrency, even built on the Web3, is being sponsored and going through a particular platform on the Web3 platform, which is one thing you can't ignore if you're trying to talk about Pixelverse, and this is known as the Ton network. Now, Ton is basically a cryptocurrency that is active on the Telegram platform, so it's more like it's owned by the Telegram community, and it is huge. It has a lot of wallets, obviously, to it. So it's like you having a cryptocurrency in an app, which is the Telegram app, and it's like a phone or an entire world in an actual world. When we've been talking about multiverse, universe, Pixelverse, and so on, I think the first step to an actual universe on your mobile phone in the Web3 world is being displayed by Telegram, because it's literally something that's accessible by everyone on the palm of your hand. And so it was amazing to be spoken about and talked about in this manner. I do have a video talking about and giving full explanation on the Ton ecosystem and the Ton platform and everything you need to know about it. So do well to check that video right after this video. But yeah, one more person needed to be recognized in the whole grand scheme of this thing. So I don't know if you heard the news that happened like about a few days or about a week back before this program, where a Twitter user known as Crypto Network, super popular in the crypto space. If you do not know him, you usually does a lot of giveaway. Try doing a giveaway to a couple of people one time and mistakenly sent about over 100 Solana. Don't get me wrong, this is not $100 Solana, but 100 Solana. This was literally thousands of dollars, and obviously converted to Naira. I'm not even going to do that conversion for you. But when he made this mistake, he actually reached out and said, oh, okay, I mistakenly sent 100. I wanted to send about $100. How about you send back 90 Solana and keep 10? So way more than the actual initial giveaway, but you have to return 10. And the guy acknowledged and did refund it. And the whole world went,
nice one.
Well played. That was well played.
Yeah, everybody simply went bizarre. And so this was a Nigerian person that did this, and he was invited and acknowledged at this event. Yeah, it was very motivating, very stimulating to see a fellow Nigerian being recognized for his good work, because you're typically labeled for a lot of wrong and negative thought out there. And so yeah, this was needed. Popularly known as Lucky, whose official name is Femi, came on stage with his father and, acknowledged properly by the crowd, by the organizers and every single person. And it was amazing. Very, very amazing. Yeah. But what's a Nigerian festival or a Nigerian event without entertainment? So we had a lot of back-to-back comedians. I was thinking there were going to be musicians or stuff, but yeah, comedians were enough. And we had amazing selection of the comedians, closing it off with Kenny Black, which obviously, if you know Kenny Black, has to deliver. So yeah.
The guy say Kenny Black, come up for yeah. I say why? He say Kenny Black, see, I'm feeling vibes, some vibes. I know your guy, man. She say Kenny, you know fit kill my vibe. I say why? She say Kenny Black. She said, take all your trouble.
But we're not going to stay on this and ignore the things that were done or the things that were supposed to be done but not done. And so yeah, let's talk about the bad part or the not so good part of this event. Number first thing I can actually pick up as an African is the timing. Now, this program was scheduled to happen between 3 p.m. in the afternoon to late at night, which is literally after the after party, which is by 1 p.m. But for some reason, they had to start about 2 hours late. Now, we got there super early, way before 3, survey the ambience, create content, which I posted on TikTok. So if you're not following me on TikTok, then do well to check out our video and so on and so forth. But while waiting and so on, it started become quite frustrating. Like, what's going on here? You guys respect our time if you're going to keep to time. But yeah, this was quite not so good. And I don't think we should excuse it as a Nigerian thing, because I don't think it's a pattern that should continue moving forward if we're going to keep having crypto events and other super events come into the country and being hosted by Nigerians here in Nigeria. And on the second thing I noticed right from the get-go till the end of this event was the fact that they kept talking or assuming every single person in the hall was a crypto geek. Now, obviously, I learn and read about cryptocurrency just to create content for you guys here and also to make money and create content on TikTok. But not every single person goes in there to read white papers or to understand the intricacies of cryptocurrencies. And so simple, frequently asked questions that I get in comment sections, none of them were addressed. Now, to actually combat that, they had people or assistants who wore dresses and said, ask me anything. And so these people, you go to them and, they tend to answer your question, whatever question you have. But I still believe certain questions were important enough to be addressed on stage, but they never were. They only talked about Torn, talked about Pixelverse, talked about development of platforms on Telegram, which was a good topic, but I don't think it was for that crowd. And so I could hear people around me who were not super familiar with the cryptocurrency world talk about how lost they were at some point, but which I believe we should adjust and, get more quality public speakers in such events. You could see the level of knowledge people had, but the lack of communication skill to actually communicate this knowledge. It was very displayed, and I think it should be worked upon. Now, this is not something I should be saying in a video, but I have to say it because we have to acknowledge our shortcomings for we to actually do better. And so, yeah, our public speaking skills and communication of simple terms or breaking of simple terms to our audience is something that we should focus on. Maybe we should start hosting enough TED Talks here in Nigeria. And finally, on a personal note, I wanted the game to be played live, like the Pixelverse game to be played live. Now, we were told you could play it, obviously talked about it, but no action was really done. Even though there was a big screen that was just used for presentation, I would have loved if the game was played live, that kind of thing. Because I won't say I'm horrible at the game, but for some reason, once the numbers on the game just doesn't, meet the expectations you have, you're already lost even before the game starts. And so there is no fighting chance in the game, except you're going to, try to defend and try to get all these cards that you typically would get. And so I was hoping maybe there was a skill that needed to be employed to actually give yourself an advantage despite the level of your bot. But, okay, that rhymed. But in simple terms, just keep upgrading your bots and you probably would win games, right? So that's basically it. Upgrade your bots, earn more, buy more bots to earn more and earn faster. If you're not signed up to Pixelverse, then do well to hit the link in the description and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Catch up on the next one.